April is starting to heat up with some brand new offerings from services like PlayStation Plus and Humble Bundle Choice. We'll talk about all the titles coming and which ones we're most excited to play.
And we finally got to see the long-awaited Bungie title Marathon. We got all the deets on the game and when you can play it. We're going to talk about all this stuff and a ton more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. As always, I'm joined by this man right here, the peanut butter to my jelly, full clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
How's it going? Yeah, that's what they called me in prison, too. Yeah, doing all right.
Really?
Yeah.
That stuck, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. These balmy April 50s days, the world's coming alive again. There's green on the trees. There's sunlight. It's a great time to be inside playing video games.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it is starting to, like, the sun is coming out. I had to Google what that was. That's the
It's been
sun.
a while, huh?
Yeah, it was, it's a whole new experience. But yeah, it's great. But yeah, perfect time to just play video games all day. That being said, you been playing any video games?
Yeah, so we did a little spoiler if anybody watched the very end of last episode, but Used Car Simulator got into, I think this is like there's supposed to be like a play test or something coming, or early access coming pretty soon, but this is prior to that, playing a little bit of Used Car Simulator, where they say, you're going to buy used, sometimes stolen cars, fix them up, do different little missions and things like that. There's various ways to steal the cars with different security systems that you're going to have to like buy bypasses for and figure it out. I didn't get too far into it, just a couple of hours of gameplay. When we talk about simulators, we have to talk about, is it jank? And
yeah,
it's a little jank, but
always,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so far, 2 hours of gameplay, nothing like game-breaking or that really detracted from it. Most things worked pretty well, even like loading a car onto the ramp truck and driving it around, that worked pretty well. That's something like some other games don't do very well.
Yeah. All right, you're halfway there. That's all you need. So what is the premise of the game? So do you what do you do with the stolen cars then? Do you like customize them, chop them up? Like what's
you can do a little bit of all of that. If there is like a chop shop sort of thing, I'm not sure yet. I haven't made it there. So far I've only done like my first car, which was buy it from somebody fairly cheap. You can haggle on the price. Then you fix it, wash it, paint it if need be. And it's funny, close to life, because you use your camera phone and you take different angled shots of it, and then you add those to the listing. It's all like kind of manual in that sense. Mm-hmm. And then you wait for offers, and you can sell to the first offer, or you can sit there and wait if you think it's worth a little bit more money. Maybe somebody else will offer you more, and you can just deliver the car to them instead.
All right. How is the driving in it? Usually with these simulator games, there's like, there's the one thing. It's like you can walk around and do stuff. And then as soon as they add something new, it's like a mess. Did you do any of the driving so far?
Yeah, so far fairly good. And I mean, if there are like supercars in this game, I don't know it. But as far as like the ramp truck, the first car that you have to fix real quick, it's like a 2-second tutorial car. And then the actual like first car that you buy and flip, everything works pretty well. It works about as you'd expect. It's not like noticeably off or anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Yeah, because it could go really with these games coming out like as frequently as they are now. Like there's literally like a new one every day, and I'm like I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
I gotta pick and choose because like I'm like, oh, that sounds like it'll be fun. I can't. There's too many of them. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Hopefully, they add more content. So it's not. It's in early access. You said.
I think it's not quite in early access yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
All
that's around the corner. Yeah, the only thing that really
Okay.
makes me kind of worry about the fun factor in this game is you need to do a little bit of resource collecting in gathering scrap. And I'm still in sort of the tutorial phase. So they give you the metal detector, or you go and buy the metal detector from the store. You got a little, I mean, it's a small world, but it's like an open world map. So there's different stores and things scattered about. And then you're supposed to go out to the desert to this place they mark on it for you and use your metal detector to find scrap. And that's the only way I know of to like fix parts on the car when you're just hitting it with a hammer.
Gotcha.
It takes that scrap away. And if that's going to be the case for all these cars, I don't know how much scrap collecting you're going to have to do, but it'd be great if there's some way to buy it in bulk, and that could already be in the game for all I know. Like I said, 2 hours in, it's kind of hard to judge.
You gotta like upgrade or something. Yeah. All right. Well, it sounds like a winner so far. I mean, in the world of the simulator games,
so far
it's
so
pretty
good.
easy to know. Yeah, right off the bat if it's gonna suck or not. So that's good. Good to hear. I got into a lot of games, and you ever have those moments? So recently, I've been like kind of struggling to find something that I want. I've been going back to a lot of older games, Monster Train, House Flipper, sort of thing. And all of a sudden, I have so many brand new games that I just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
It's great. We're in a great spot. I'm in a great spot here. One game that I talked about last week that I did play a little bit more this week is REPO, and I'm still like, it's the most fun I'm having with a group of friends playing a video game is playing this dumb game on Steam where you gotta where you get haunted and you just watch their little heads like talking and stuff. It's so dumb, but it's so fun. I was up until like 2:00 the last few nights just playing it, and I'm like, oh boy. And I didn't want to stop too. I was like exhausted, but it was just, we're having so much fun. So yeah, I stand by that. If you got some friends that you want to have some dumb fun with, play Repo, man. It is a blast. And then the other games I want to talk about are featured in our new releases. So I say let's just get right in to our new releases.
Let's do it.
All right, the first one is called South of Midnight. It came out April 8th on PC and Xbox X and S. It's a third-person adventure game. It takes place in the American Deep South. It's this gothic folklore game with, magic and crazy animals and amazing looking things. And in the story, you are it's a weaver, is like a, you could do things with powers and that sort of thing. You have all these different powers to traverse through the world and do these fighting things. The art style of the game is the biggest draw. We've talked about it before. It's like that kind of like a stop motion looking thing.
Kind of reminiscent of claymation, but I don't think that's what it is. It's very textural though.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like whatever it was it's not like what was it, Harold Halibut, where that was actually created in by hand. This is like simulating that stop motion claymation style, and it's gorgeous. And I was going into this, I was skeptical. Everything I saw about it, I was like, I don't know, it doesn't look that fun. The gameplay doesn't look great. And then I started playing it, and the story, it's such a great story. The characters in it are so well written and so well acted. And then the soundtrack, I'm calling it right now. This will win best soundtrack of the year. I'm listening to it when I'm not playing the game. I'm putting it on. It's jazzy, Zydeco. It's really a great soundtrack. The only negative of the game is the actual combat within the game. The platforming, the traversal, it's fun, it's fine, but the combat is just really repetitive and simple. There's only a few different types of enemies, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. And every review that I've seen, it's saying the same thing. Basically the same thing I'm saying, that it's just such a great game, story-wise, art-wise, everything. the combat's dull and repetitive. It's interesting. Like if you die in combat, it gives you the choice just to skip it, and you can skip any of it. You can skip the boss fights. You could just, if you just want to do the story, you could just skip the combat sections. It's pretty crazy. I haven't seen that before. But man, like every day, like I keep thinking about like I want to play more of it, and it's so much of a throwback to like games like from 10 years ago where it's real linear. They just keep introducing new, like they, like, oh, you're stuck in a section. Well, here's a new power so you can traverse to that section. And they just introduce these new powers, and then you have like this full set of skills. And then you go and you do, there's a little bit of exploration for upgrades. But overall, it's just an amazing story with like a cool character with cool abilities. And like the soundtrack is fantastic, dude. South of Midnight. It's one of my favorite games I've played this year so far. It's only got a 70, I think it was like a 77 on Metacritic. So not bad, not like amazing, but it's got me. Like I was really looking for one of these, just kind of a real simple, like a linear game that I could just go through and enjoy playing it. And like, specifically in this one, being in that world with all these super like cool characters. There's like this giant alligator and this huge talking catfish and a huge man like that's a tree. Like it's awesome. I'm like so looking forward to it. I'm only on like chapter 5. But like I'm so excited to go back and play some more. So it's on Game Pass. That's why I'm playing it. So if you have access to it, check it out. Yeah. Yeah, that's what afforded me the ability to play that. And had it not been on Game Pass, I would not have. I've got it. Like I said, I was down on it before I saw it. But yeah, dude, I love Game Pass. I love Game Pass so much. Yeah. It's such a great thing. So yeah, check out South of Midnight. Another game I've been playing, Blue Prince, came out on April 10th on PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This is a puzzle game. Basically, your uncle left you a mansion in his will, and in order to claim your inheritance, you have to make it through and find the 46th room of this mansion. And it's this big grid, and you have to, as you're going through, you open a door and you have options. It's basically kind of like, think of it as like a deck of cards where each card is a different room. So basically you're getting 3 cards, and there are 3 different rooms, and you have to, each room has some sort of, it'll give you something, or it's a dead end or whatever. So you have to put those cards down in order to traverse through the room to make it to that 46th room. It's so weird. So this is another one I've been playing, and it's another one I can't stop thinking about. And this one is on PlayStation Plus. So again, I don't know if I would have gotten this had it not been made available to me. So PlayStation Plus, thank you. And it's just like, I didn't know what to expect going in. I thought it was going to be more of like a puzzle game in that, like an escape room type thing, but it's not. And it's like really, really hard to explain other than thinking of it as like a card situation where you have to play the cards correctly in order to get further. And there are parts of the game that are more of a puzzle where you have to like really take into account like all your surroundings and what each room is and what each room has, and use that information to get further. You only have like a limited amount of time. Basically, you have like, you start the day with 50 footsteps, and each room you go into takes a few of those off. Some rooms add. If you don't make it to the end, by the end of those footsteps, you have to restart the day. And every time you restart the day, you start over. And you have to try to make it further. But every day goes by, you might learn a new thing, or something might carry over and that sort of thing. It's a very, very strange game. Everything I'm reading about it, people either like are loving it or hating it. It's weird. It's like there's no middle ground. So, yeah. So, based on my description, what do you think? Is this something that you'd be interested in?
Well, I'm trying to understand, are you affecting like the room that is built next by playing those cards? Like, is it generating the world based on that?
Yes. Yep. So yeah, when you go to a door, it gives you 3 options. There's nothing there yet until you choose one of those 3 options, and then it puts that room there. And then you go in the room, like say you need more energy or whatever. You can choose if you get that card to play the pantry or whatever, and there's like an apple in there that gives you more energy. So it's like it's all in how you play those, because then there are some cards where it's just a dead end and you will run out of places to go and you just can't go any further, so you have to start your day over. So like there's strategy in playing some of those dead end cards early so that later on you're getting more of the cards that have 3 branching rooms, so that you have then 3 choices to extend your gameplay further. And it's like there's a lot of strategy involved and a lot of like, I don't know how abstract the puzzle system is, because there's stuff in every room, and I don't know if I'm supposed to. There's like, I see like chess pieces in some room, and I'm like, does that mean something? There's pictures hanging on all the walls, and I'm like, does that mean something? I don't know how much I'm supposed to be paying attention to, because there are notes and puzzles, and there's just there's a little bit of math involved there. It's like there's a lot of different stuff going on. But yeah, man, it's in my head. I keep thinking about what I could do to get further, or like, it's you actually sit down with, like, it tells you bring a notebook and like in real life, like take notes. And it's a great idea because there's passwords for things and you have to remember all this stuff. And it's an amazing puzzle game for people that are fan of puzzles.
Gotcha.
So
it seems like there's going to be a lot of variance based on just how the cards do and how you do with them. So I mean, I assume the replayability factor's there, but how long is it from beginning to ending? And is this like a one and done situation if you play it for 8 hours, or are you expected to sort of kind of play this over and over again?
That's kind of one of the questions that I have, though, and I don't want to, like, when I first started it, I'm like, oh, easy, I'm going to do this in one, I'm going to finish this today. I'm going to beat the game today. And I was humbled because I'm now maybe 5-6 hours in, and I've gotten further than I ever did, but I'm still nowhere even close to making it to the end. But I don't know. I don't know what the draw is then. If you make it to the end, obviously, you could do it again, maybe differently. And I don't want to. This is one where I'm avoiding watching people play it. I'm avoiding any spoilers because I want to figure it out myself. So like that's kind of one of the things where I'm like, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know. Like if people have beaten it already, it could have taken them. Maybe I'm terrible at it and they've done it already and they're done it a lot quicker. So I have a couple of friends that played it. So like we're just kind of bouncing ideas off each other right now, and still all of us just kind of avoiding any playthroughs or gameplay or stuff like that. So I don't know, but I am interested to see like what's the quickest run, what's the like, I don't know. There are a lot. I looked at the achievements, and there are some achievements for obviously making it to the end, but then different things. So there might be replayability in trying to get all the trophies or achievements and that sort of thing, getting all the rooms, using all the cards, doing it. And there is an achievement for doing it in one day, like gameplay wise. So it's like, it's there's a lot to it. And I don't know any of the answers because I've been really just trying to avoid any spoilers. So, if you do any research about it and there's something that you think I should know, let me know. It might help my gameplay, but I'm not going to look it up. Already this is being considered like in the running for Game of the Year. It's the highest rated game on Metacritic right now with a 93. So it's really interesting. All right, and the last game I've been playing that came out this week, Promise Mascot Agency, came out April 10th. It's on, I think it's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I'm not entirely certain. I'm playing it on PC. This is from the creators of Paradise Killer. I know I've talked about it before because I've been really excited for this game. And it's weird, when it came out, like I was already playing South of Midnight and Blueprint, so I'm like, do I need to play this one right now? It was my most anticipated game. And I finally got in there, and I'm happy I did. But it's an open world. This is the description on the description on the thing. Open world narrative adventure mascot management simulator.
Oh,
Basically,
that
you're
old
this
genre.
a Yakuza guy. Yeah, that's a classic. You're a Yakuza guy who gets like transferred to this cursed island to run a mascot management agency. And what that means is like you have to find these weird little characters and send them to do jobs to, be a mascot places. And they're weird. Like your business partner is a pinky. It's just a pinky nub. And then like there's crying tofu and like bondage people. It's such a strange game. It's one of those strangest games that I've ever played. But the gameplay is nice. It's like a nice kind of cozy-ish kind of feel. Like it's a lot of driving. It's like this kind of open world, and you drive around finding mascots and cash and doing all this stuff. So the driving is actually really nice. It's well done. But then, like while you're doing that, you have to send the mascots to, to the different jobs and help them out if they need help and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's got a nice hook. It's so weird and it's so fun. So yeah, it's been a blast, dude. I'm between these three games. Whew,
Yeah,
it's been a week.
yeah, this one looks wild.
Mm-hmm. I think you would like it, dude. There's driving, there's pinkies, bondage things, all your favorite things.
I had that introduction to Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, so now I'm interested in taking on some weird titles.
There you go, Pirate Yakuza on this cursed mascot island. This this one, I don't know, like those Yakuza games or like a Dragon games or whatever are so strange. And this one, like, it looked like they were like, okay, we need to take one of those games and just make it weirder. And that's basically what this is. They're like, let's out weird the Like a Dragon games and make this Promise Mascot Agency. But yeah, if you like weird games, if you're a fan of Paradise Killer, it's another fantastic game. So 3 games that are a little bit different from the norm, and all 3 of them fantastic, dude. It's been a good week. And then used car simulator, dude. We're all winning. We're all winners this week in video game land.
Absolutely.
So and April, they just keep coming, dude. I gotta like finish at least one of these games because Claire Obscure comes out at the end of the month. What else is coming? There's like another big Doom Dark Ages is coming this month. Like some big games coming. So yeah. It's exciting time. Hopefully, the weather doesn't ever get any better. Maybe we'll get snow again, and then I won't feel guilt for staying inside playing video games all day. We'll see. All right. Anything else before we move along?
No, that's probably it for the new releases.
Yes. All right. Let's get into our news of the week. All right, now that the dust has settled around the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, we're getting some more information. There's still some loose ends we're trying to piece out. So there's still no news regarding the tariff situation. The pre-orders have still been postponed. Now even Canada, they canceled their pre-order situation too. So we haven't heard anything new about if we'll be able to pre-order anymore, or if we just have to wait until June 5th when the system comes out. I know some people are also even speculating that the price may go up depending on some of these tariff situations. I read an article saying that it's going to be like $530 or something. I'm like, no. They can't make it that. Yeah. But again, this is all speculation. I did also then see some analysts saying that no, they're not going to raise the price. But there's nothing has been stated from Nintendo just yet. In fact, there was some stuff regarding the game prices though that I wanted to talk about. So Nintendo president Doug Bowser, he did an interview talking about. They asked him about the price of these games, the high price of the games, looking at like, Mario Kart coming out and being, what is $80?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the term he used is variable pricing. So he says, what you see right there is variable pricing. We'll look at each game, really look at the development that's gone into the game, the breadth and depth of the gameplay, if you will, the durability over time, and the repeatability of gameplay experiences. Those are all factors, and there's many more that go into consideration of what is the right price point for the game. So I think you can anticipate that there will be variable pricing, and we haven't set a benchmark. What do you think of this?
It sounds like something they should have been implementing when, $60 was the higher end of that. They have $60 games that probably should have been $40 games, not the other way around. Like, let's jack some of these up. So, I mean, if you're talking about, like, what if other companies take this same policy? I just looked into it for funsies earlier. How much it cost to develop Skull and Bones? It was like $680 million to $850 million. So what are they going to bring out Skull and Bones at $120?
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because we did joke. Remember when Ubisoft was saying that they should charge by the hour or something like that?
Yeah.
Or, you remember that?
Yeah,
it was them who said that. That was their variable pricing idea. So this is not a new thing that we're learning about. This is game developers have been kind of threatening us with this pricing model for a while. But yeah, I think it's a bunch of bull. I think it is a cop-out. Yeah, what about the $30 games that Nintendo puts out? Have we ever seen anything less than $60 from Nintendo? So, yeah. He also says, I think it's less about representing the industry. This is really about Nintendo deciding the right thing to do for its products, or what the pricing should be for its products overall. Even in the previous generation, we had some variability. So he said, I think this, for us, that's really how we want to proceed and go forward. I can't speak for the other games that might be released by other publishers or other platforms. It's more about what we think is right for our content, what is right value for the consumers as they come into our platform. Basically, he knows that Nintendo can get away with it. We talked about it last week. There's no alternatives. You have to buy the Switch 2 and pay the Switch 2 game prices to get Mario Kart. You're not, as good as Crash Team Racing is.
Yeah,
it's not Mario Kart.
What was that Apple Arcade with like Shrek on some walls as a car?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like there was an American Dad or whatever. On there or something. So yeah, there's a lot of kart racers, and they know that only one is Mario Kart. So they got us there. But yeah, so it's that whole thing is interesting. Another same kind of idea. IGN interviewed the vice president of product and player experience, Bill Trinan, and they kind of asked him kind of the same thing. And he said, I would say it's less about the strategy of pricing Mario Kart World. It's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what is the experience, and what's the content, and what's the value. But honestly, this is a game that is so big and so vast that you'll find so many little things in it to discover. And there's still some other secrets remaining that I think as people end up buying and playing the game, they're going to find this to be probably the richest Mario Kart experience they've ever had. So, yeah. So it seems like it's going to be a big game. $80 worth? I don't know, probably. But it's still, for me, the idea that this is kind of starting now. We're going to see other companies using this model. If Nintendo can make an $80 game, why can't we?
Right.
And it all keeps going back to GTA 6. What's the cost of that going to be? Right.
And the model's nothing new. It's just that the high end of the prices is what's new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I saw, someone saying that if they wanted to do this, they should have been incrementally raising prices instead of keeping them stagnant for however many years. They've been $50, $60. Raise them $5 here and there. We saw a price jump $10. I think last year is when that really took off, right? making games like
Yeah,
$69.
$70 or so.
Yeah, and then now we're jumping right up to like 80 from there. So yeah, it's really interesting. Another thing regarding pricing that we found out too is that um, for the expansion packs, like we found at Breath of the Wild, so that do the upgrade, if you own Breath of the Wild, it's $10. If you want to buy the game, if you don't own it, it's $60. But we did find out that the DLC is not included in the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade, which is I think it's a weird step backwards, because you've always seen, you come out with the big upgrade edition, it's always had the previous content in there, you know? I think Nintendo is stepping away from the norm there, because they know that, okay, well, we're just going to then continue to charge the $20 for the DLC. So now you're paying, if you want Breath of the Wild with everything, it's a game from 2017. It's a Wii game, basically, Wii U game, and you're paying $90 for it, which is, that's, Nintendo for you, but that's crazy. To me, that's insane. So, yeah, I don't know where the goodwill Nintendo has gone. The previous, they would, hook you up a little bit. Throw that Wii Sports pack in. Because even that World Tour thing, we found out, and that's going to be $10. We didn't know the price of it last week, but that's going to be $10 for that thing.
I guess it's not as bad. It's still, it should be.
It should have been in there.
Bundledware.
Yes, yeah. So, I don't know. Have you given any more thought about the pricing model that Nintendo's doing?
Other than I don't like it, I can't believe it, and I hope it fails. Not really.
Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page then. Yeah, I there needs to be pushback. I don't know. Based on seeing already some of the pre-orders, I think people are just going to roll with it. It does seem that that it's just going to be the new thing.
There will always be the people who will pay whatever price just because they can, and it doesn't matter to them the difference between a $60 game and an $80 game, or what the price of the console itself is. But I think numbers-wise, they're going to have to see how everybody responds. And I don't think people have to grab their pitchforks and go protest Nintendo about the prices. It's just a matter of, can we, as a collective, as the average gamer, afford these games? And especially as many games are coming out. So are they just naturally going to see the dip in sales because we only have so much bandwidth and we only have so much money, and they're asking for more of it?
True. Yeah. And to even make matters worse, you and I are more patient gamers. We're happy to wait for a sale. The problem with these Nintendo games is that they never go on sale. So in that case, will we ever play these games? There's games you could wait and they'll drop, Steam sale or whatever, and that's a good price. Yeah, I'm going to grab that and play that game. These games will never get them on sale. So then it gets even harder and harder. After this now a 5-year-old game and it's still regular price, I'm there's no way I'm paying that for that now,
Yeah.
So
where I personally stand on a lot of Nintendo games, there are a lot of you're going to get a solid experience when you get a Kirby game or a Mario game, and but then there's nothing that I really can't live without.
True, absolutely. Yep, I totally agree with that. Another interesting choice over at Nintendo is that they were asked about the Joy-Cons, and the stick drift with the Joy-Cons has been an awful issue ever since the Switch was released. And they finally found out that the new consoles do not employ anti-drift Hall effect joysticks. They said they've built these from the ground up and they are really good, they say, but they don't have that Hall effect joystick in there to stop the stick drift. So I don't know what that means. Did they come up with something better, or are we going to go back to having stick drift in a year or so after the system has come out? It was interesting.
Yeah. And what do you think the markup is on those Joy-Cons? Because they may have inadvertently found themselves with a nice little extra bit of
Yeah.
money through the life of the
Yeah.
Switch, based on what they probably didn't intend to happen with the stick drift. But like, why
Mm-hmm.
fix it if it's bringing in more money?
How much is a pair of Joy-Cons now for Nintendo Switch One? $80? Something like that?
Something like that. I was thinking like maybe 50 for the knockoffs, 80 for the Nintendo licensed on the
Yeah.
Walmart shelf.
Yeah. I wonder how much some Joy-Cons are gonna be to buy for Switch 2. Do we know?
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't get any
Well, it's
pricing
got-
on that, right?
No, I don't think so. But they have like all the new features, the optical mouse
Yeah.
parts.
You got the
So
mouse in there. Yeah.
maybe a nice
And yeah, you're gonna
$90
need
to $100.
Yeah. You want to play Mario Kart, Mario Party with your friends, you got to have 4 Joy-Cons. So, yeah, I'm interested to see like what that means. It seems weird that they would not fix that if it was going to be an issue, but yeah, you might be onto something. Get that get that money, cuz that shit's real annoying. All right. Anything else about Nintendo before we move on?
No, that's it.
All right, let's talk about Bungie. We finally got to see the long-awaited Bungie title, Marathon, and it is, it's a first-person shooter. It's a PvPvE extraction shooter, and it looks, I don't know, it looks interesting. It's brightly colored, like the world is interesting to look at. Were you a Destiny? Did you play Destiny at all?
Yeah, Destiny 1.
Yeah, Destiny to me was some of the best gunplay I've ever done in any multiplayer game. It's definitely top 3 for me. So if they could nail that, I might be interested. But the idea of a 3-player crews going up against 6 other, I think 6 teams total. And then you gotta get as much loot as you can and get out, and then that loot carries over to the next one. I don't know if I'm interested in that really. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
It's looking a lot like Apex Legends to me. I mean, from the movement to the gunplay to the characters and things like that. And I don't know what this game is doing to set itself apart from the genre.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be big. In a tough market, oversaturated market where we saw Concord, which again I think had a kind of similar aesthetic even, get shut down in the first week or so. This needs something to stand out, whether it's high quality gameplay or what. Right now the maps look cool, but they're not a selling point for me. The characters look fine, but yeah, I'm interested to see. So there's going to be a play test starting April 23rd. They're doing an alpha, and there's going to be 4 different runners. That's the character you have, different builds you can put on each one of your runners, but there's going to be 4 to choose from there, and they gave us a little bit of a rundown of what they are. There's a Void. That's a stealthy character that could go invisible. There is Glitch that has fast-paced abilities and can glitch out enemies. Locust has a shield ability and looks similar to the slide and shotgun play of a Titan from Destiny 2. And then there is Blackbird, designed for recon and scanning the area around you. So those are the 4 runners to choose from in the alpha, and then there's going to be 2 more additional that are going to be out before the release date. So, yeah, it's got everything we've seen before, like the hero shooters, each different abilities and that sort of thing. I don't know what else is going to be involved, but alpha coming in April. You could sign up for that at their website, and then the game will launch September 23rd on PS5. Xbox Series X and S and PC with full crossplay and cross save. So that's a nice little feature. But are you interested in this after seeing the gameplay at all?
No more interested right now. Once it comes out, we just have to see if it develops a player base, if there is some reason that people want to go over there to it instead of playing the games that they're used to. and
Yep.
make a judgment then on whether or not I want to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, like I would love to get into the alpha just because I want to. If it plays at all like Destiny, I might be able to convince two other people to get in there and play it. So now this is not a free to play game. It is a full paid game. So you buy it and and everything is unlocked when you first buy it. So that's going to be tough too to get people to in a world where these are all free to play, get people to shell out whatever that cost is going to be to get into the game. So yeah. But there was a ton more that you could look if you're interested. There's a 20-minute highlight video, and then a bunch of takes from like creators and that sort of thing from the world. There's like they came out with like this 9-minute video like showing like some of the lore. So yeah, there's a lot of information about Marathon if you're at all interested in that. All right, and then one of the highlights for me this week, the Triple I Initiative Showcase happened. I love this thing. It's just jam-packed indie games back to back. It was like an hour long, just a ton of indie games, and it really gets at my. I write down everything that looks good. I put them all on my wish list, and there was a lot of like really interesting things shown for this one. A bunch of games that we didn't know about already, or there was like some release dates announced. Like they announced the release date for the Altars finally. That's going to be June 13th. Very excited to see more of that. There's a long-awaited Katana Zero DLC that they showed more about. But as far as like some new games, for me, there's Voidbreaker was announced at this show. This is another first-person shooter. This one is more like really sci-fi, a lot of bright colors. It looks fun. I was instantly drawn to that one. The style of it, the run and gun thing looked like a lot of fun. Did you check that one out?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty interesting. So I guess it's a roguelike?
Oh geez, that's gonna turn a lot of people off. They gotta stop just putting that title on every game. Yeah. I mean, I like them, but
yeah, a first-person shooter.
No, you're correct.
I'm
looking at it now.
Yeah, do you know of another like first-person shooter roguelike? I'm struggling to think of one.
Yeah. No, I remember talking about one not too long ago. I don't remember what it was though, because they're just adding that. The mechanic to everything. So yeah, it's interesting. Another one that I thought looked cool is this game called Neverway. It's just really, really weird. So it's from some of the people that did Celeste and Towerfall, but it was like this crazy like nightmare scenario. Real cool art, but like really dark looking. That one drew me in. What else was there? Deep Rock Galactic. There's a rogue like coming out for that. That's there's an alpha coming out soon. A game called Into the Fire. This one looked interesting. This is from the people that did the Invincible. But this one you're like a fireman kinda, but you're like not like a traditional fireman, but you're like in like a volcano, and you're like it's like an extraction thing. It looked strange. Everything was on fire in the trailer, and you have to use like these contraptions to like stop the fire. It was weird.
Yeah,
but
it looked like you had like a water grenade or something like that.
Just
interesting enough. I don't know what the like. It looked like you were climbing through windows and stuff. So there's like homes, even though I think it's set in like an alien planet according to the description. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it kind of reminds me though. I haven't seen like a really good firefighting game. Maybe there's a firefighter simulator out there we're just ignorant of. But I had one on PlayStation 1 that was a firefighting game, and it was kind of fun. So if it has some elements that's from that, I can have fun with it.
Yeah, that one looks strange. There was a game called Tears of Metal that looked like Dynasty Warriors, but with like a cell shaded art. And it was like, but they were like, I don't know, like Irish or Vikings or something like that, and it was like, that looked really cool. Like with the tons of like enemies on the screen, that really drew my eye. I always love those hack and slash games. So yeah, that one looked fantastic. There were a couple more. Oh, Clover Pit. This is like a slot machine game, basically like any, you got your Balatro thing. So anything that's in the world of gambling is becoming a game now. And
Yeah.
this one looked cool. It's got like PSX style graphics. Looks like it'll fuel some gambling addiction for somebody at some point. Then that one will definitely get put on YouTube as 18 and up.
Yeah.
So Enshrouded got some DLC, and what else?
Morbid Metal.
Yes, Morbid Metal. That one looked insane, dude. They showed it was like this crazy over the top action trailer with like this metal music playing, and you're doing all these combos in midair. The character looks cool. He's got this giant weapon. That one looked like a blast. And then the last one I have on my list, Starbirds, from the developers of Dorfromantik. This is like, I don't know. I initially, when I saw it, I was like, this looks dumb. And then I watched, like, they did a breakdown of what the game is. And it is like, so you have this, basically it's like a planet. And then you put these, I don't know, it's like a resource collector where you have these birds on there that are collecting resources. And then, I don't know, it just looks beautiful. It's bright. And you have to like create these little factories and stuff. It looks super cute.
Yeah.
That one I'm excited for. That comes out in June.
Looks sort of like a Bizarro Satisfactory, or I'm forgetting the other one, but there's one people love where you're setting up like the chains of supplies to go to the different machines. You're using these resources to build the new ones. It's like that, but it's like you're not setting up these perfectly straight like lines. You're on planets and asteroids or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one I really thought looked cool. And then we've talked about it before, I believe, but the Eternal Life of Goldman, they had more of a full showing of that, and that is this gorgeous looking hand-drawn Metroidvania coming out. That like the more I see of it, the more excited I am for it. So that one, I can't wait for that. But yeah, it was a good showcase. Lot of games, dude. I think probably, I don't know, it's close to an hour long list of games and trailers. Was there any other ones that you want to mention?
Yeah, one more I'll bring up. Timberborn. So I made an allusion to this not that long ago because we're seeing all these city builders, and we're seeing like, oh, here's this animal doing a city builder. Timberborn's a demo that I played a few years ago, it seems like, where you're building a city, resource management, all that as beavers. But they're like, they I guess they've been updating it iteratively this whole entire time. And I only watched like a short bit of the trailer, and I need to look more into this because with this newest update, it's looking more like, almost like a Minecraft voxel-based system to control the water flow and everything else. So now you're actually like building dams and stuff. Yeah, controlling the water flow. Looks really cool.
Yeah, that looks. I remember seeing that come out before. I was like, oh, this looks cute, and it's definitely not my style. But yeah, I could see you getting down with some beavers and shaping the world, getting some nice terraforming, irrigation setup. So yeah, it was a great showcase. Tons of really interesting indie games. So yeah, go check it out, and let us know if there was any we missed that you really dug. All right, and then last up, let's take a quick look at the subscription services games for April. We got the PlayStation Plus game catalog announced. Some pretty exciting stuff coming to PlayStation Plus. Now, already Blueprints, we talked about that. That was one of the featured games for April. The other big one, Hogwarts Legacy, now available through PlayStation Plus. Excited to finally get in there and check that one out. And then brand new game, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. The second part of that comes out this month. And then EGA Sports PGA Tour, Battlefield 1, Plate Up, all come to the extra package. And then Premium also gets Alone in the Dark 2 and War of the Monsters. So some good games, man. A little something for everybody. You got your golf, you got your food preparation, your Harry Potter shit. Yeah.
Battlefield 1. Well, it's a surprising pick to me.
Battlefield 1.
How many years old is that now?
Should I play it? Do you think there's enough player base?
I promise you it holds up, and this is probably exactly what that game needs, is just like an influx of
shot in
some
the
fresh
arm.
players. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played it before. Up to 64 players in an epic multiplayer battle. That sounds crazy. So and then the humble choice for April came out, and those games are Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, Dredge, Aliens Dark Descent, 1000X Resist, Nova Lands, Diplomacy is not an option, Distant Worlds 2, and Nomad Survival. For me, on the humble choice this month, I'm gonna choose to skip my subscription, just because I have Dredge already. Maybe if I didn't have Dredge, I might have chosen to keep it. Dredge is a fantastic game, but Tomb Raider, not. Do I really need to play Tomb Raider again? You know?
Yeah, if I'm going to experience those, I don't know that I want to go for the remastered. I'd almost rather go for the original games, original hardware, or maybe even emulate it, but it wouldn't be the remastered version.
You love your polygons. Lack of polygons.
Yes.
Yeah, the other one that, like, the Aliens Dark Descent, I was kind of like, that one maybe I would want to check out. It's like a, I think that one's like a tactics game. I don't remember. I think that one's more of like a tactics, like an XCOM type situation. And I was like, that might be cool in an Aliens setting. But overall, it was, the rest of the games are all like strategy simulator type games. You don't need too many of those. So, it's not for me this month, but which is a good thing. I have too many games. It's tough when they come out with like a new one and it's a good, like, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I got to add more to my backlog.
Oh yeah.
This is it's a tough life we live here. Too many fun games to play.
Yeah.
All right, and then over on the Game Pass front, we missed the Wave 1 announcement earlier this month. So real quick, Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition is out now. All You Need Is Help is now on Game Pass Standard. Still Wakes the Deep now on Game Pass Standard. Wargroove 2 now on Game Pass Standard. And then Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls came out to Game Pass. South of Midnight, we talked about that. Came out April 8th. Commandos Origins, this is another day one game, came out April 9th. That is like a strategy co-op game. Looks interesting. They also got Blueprints on Game Pass, which I did not know. That came out April 10th. And then Hunt Showdown 1896 comes to Game Pass on April 15th. What even is that? Oh, it's an extraction shooter. Another extraction shooter. So, yeah, there's a bunch of games coming. It's leaving April 15th. Botany Manor, Coral Island, Harold Halibut, Homestead Arcana, Kona, Orcs Must Die 3, and Turbo Golf Racing. So I expect the Wave 2 should be announced any day now. So we'll see. We'll have more information on that when it does get announced. But speaking of Xbox, real quick, they also did announce there is a showcase coming up June 8th. It's going to be their big game showcase, this time followed by Outer Worlds 2 Direct. So June 8th, put that on your calendar with more information about what's next coming to Xbox, as well as what is up with Outer Worlds 2. Is that something that you're looking forward to, that game?
Yeah, I never finished the first one. Really didn't even get that far into it.
I never played the first one, but the more I keep seeing about Outer Worlds 2, the more I'm interested. So yeah. It looks fun. So, all right. Well, that is it. Anything else before we pack this thing up? All right, let's get out of here. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Be sure to follow us on our socials, TikTok, Blue Sky, and then go over to YouTube. Hit subscribe over there. Pop Culture Playground's the name of the channel. You'll find this show, a bunch of other stuff there. And then anywhere podcasts are found, type in GNW. Again, hit subscribe, and you will have the audio version of this show every week, just ready for you to listen over and over again. That's what you do, right? You just keep listening. Just keep thinking about how cool we sound. Yes.
Play this in your
All right.
sleep, and you'll know all the gaming news that comes. You'll have it memorized. By the way, when's First Ev's coming back?
Oh man, let's not even talk about it.
Oh,
We're gonna do. We gotta figure out some sort of a rebranding or something. Just it's a whole schedule. There's some scheduling conflicts. We're working through it, but hopefully soon. Because listen, I got too much time on my hands. You know what I mean? I gotta put out some of this creative energy somewhere. On that note, all right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week with more video game news.